The WNBA can't get out of its own way. So 2 days ago, there was a game versus the Atlanta Dream versus the Indiana Fever, and two fans were told to cover up their shirts or get the hell out. The problem is the team Atlanta Dream basically said this was not their fault. This was the WNBA's fault. Yep. Let's get into it.
And we were made to cover up our XXXY shirts at this game.
Wait, are you serious?
Yes.
They gave us shirts.
They gave us T-shirts
I threw mine.
during overtime and told us we had to leave
And this is for the girls.
or cover our shirts up. This just happened.
Where were you sitting?
Floor
4-3 row.
C.
Yeah.
Third row of floor 3.
So they were sitting courtside. I think they paid about $1,000 for those tickets and were told around overtime. So they sat there the entire game. No one probably even noticed this. And that's the problem with the WNBA. They seem like they just can't get out their own way. They were sitting there the whole time. No one cares. Unless you look ridiculous, no one's noticing what people are doing at the courtside unless they're celebrities. These two people are not celebrities. They were focusing on the game. They actually went to overtime, so people was more focused about what's going on the court rather than what's happening with, courtside seats. So why do they keep bringing this type of attention to themselves?
How much were your seats?
$1,000 each around.
Yeah, and we did nothing. Like we were just sitting there. I didn't make signs. I wanted to make signs, but I didn't. I did nothing.
They made us put our shirts on.
I did notice during the game on the jumbotron, they put up a woman wearing a shirt that said "Protect Trans Rights" or something.
She was
She's
the one who
told
told
on
because she was made to zip up her jacket.
So
we
she
thought-
also had to zip up her jacket?
But
Yeah, she
I
did.
think that's
But that's bullshit too. She shouldn't have to.
But they put her shirt on the jumbotron.
I know.
It's almost like the message was made and they said now zip it up to make it seem like they're consistent, but they never were.
Again, what are they doing? How about you just wear the shirt? You don't have to put anything on Jumbotron and just show the game or show people happy being there to watch the WNBA players. Why are they going in and out, trying to jump in and out of the political spectrum and going into this culture war? It's just not working. People care more about what they're saying off the court than what's happening on the court. The WNBA is being scrutinized every other major league, and I don't think the WNBA can handle it.
No, never are.
And why did you spend so much on tickets? Why was it important for you to be here today?
To support
Sophie
Sophie Cunningham and to support women and women's sports because it's just common sense.
And what's the relation here?
That's my daughter.
And are you an athlete?
I used to be until I had a bunch of knee surgery.
What sport?
I did all sorts here. I did soccer. I did all of that.
Yes.
And did this issue ever come up? Like, did a biological man ever try to play against?
No, we're from here, so it hasn't happened here.
A lot.
But I can't believe that just happened
Yeah, that's
in
shocking.
Atlanta, Georgia.
With ejection from a WNBA game simply for supporting Sophie Cunningham and her fight for fairness in women's sport. With ejection from a WNBA game simply for supporting Sophie Cunningham and her fight for fairness in women's sports. They tell Outkick that a security guard told them that they had to cover up their XXXY branded T-shirts because one fan was offended by it. Fox News contributor Joe Concha joins us now. So they had been there through the entire game. Somebody came up to them, security guard came up to them during overtime and said, somebody's complained about your shirts. You've got to take these shirts, which I guess were given out at the game as gifts, and put them on and cover up your shirts. I mean, what do you think about all this?
Before he speaks, we're becoming so soft that I am offended by your shirt at a game and I'm going to go on my way to tell the security. And then security is going to, instead of saying, how about you just ignore it and watch the game that's on the court? I mean, you paid money to watch the game or to watch fans in what shirts they're wearing. Many people have already said this, but I do agree. This WNBA situation is like a South Park episode. Legit, like a South Park Boondocks episode. The most exaggerated, craziest situation, but we're actually living it in 2026.
I mean, John, this is amazing. I mean, this mom and daughter that we just saw on the screen say they paid $1,000 for these tickets. They were basically courtside, primarily because obviously Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham were on the opposing team in the Indiana Fever. This took place in Atlanta. At last glance, there is a First Amendment in this country, and worrying about an XXYY T-shirt stating the most obvious and benign thing in the history of T-shirts, that there are XX chromosomes and XY chromosomes that differentiate men and women, and that somehow cannot be displayed played. I mean, that's obviously, 31 flavors of censorship. And believe me, as sure as you were born, if the T-shirts worn were of the pro-trans variety, not one word would have been said. In fact, we know this because a T-shirt supporting trans rights was featured on the jumbotron in that arena last night during the same game. And by the way, John, the Atlanta Fever, the same franchise, is where its players refused to stand for the national anthem last night, and then they honored who they called the Honorable Stacey Abrams, a two-time gubernatorial loser in Georgia and an infamous election denier. So it's almost as if the team is trying to tell certain fans, we don't want your business. Stay away. You could display a message, but it has to be what we approve to be the right message.
All right, so as you point out, another fan had been wearing a Protect Trans Rights T-shirt, had been put up on the big video board at the game. And let's not forget that at a game a couple of weeks ago, Minnesota Lynx coach Cheryl Reeves wore a Trans Kids Belong shirt.
Common sense, people. Like, that's all we're asking for.
That's insane. Annie, the WNBA told us that they're aware of the interactions at last night's game in Atlanta, which fans were asked to cover up. That's you guys, cover up the shirts. This should not have happened, they said. Does that make you feel better about this? Presumably, Annie, it won't happen again?
It's 100% going to happen again until people actually do something about it.
Now, the thing is about the Atlanta Dream, they're saying this was not their fault. This was 100% the WNBA's fault. So they posted this, I guess, 12 hours ago. From the time of this recording, the Atlanta Dream believes in creating a safe and inclusive environment for everyone. Unfortunately, at last night's game, WNBA security took actions that fell short of that standard. At no point was Dream personnel involved in the decisions made by WNBA security. The league issued its statement earlier today. The WNBA is aware of these interactions of last night's game in Atlanta, in which fans were asked by league security to cover up their shirts. This should not have happened. So even the Atlanta Dream is throwing the WNBA under the bus by saying we have no idea why that happened. It wasn't our fault. It just goes to show where the WNBA is. I know they can't wait for this season to be over. They need a break. They've been getting beat up for a couple of months. I think they can't wait until the season is over. What's going to happen next season? They're going to have to figure something out. Royce White basically said that he is going to take legal action if he's not able to be drafted by the WNBA.
I always trusted the science. Now it would appear that I'm sometimes identifying as a black transgender lesbian. And I can't tell you how liberating it is, although I've experienced a lot of hate in the last few days. Well, I think based on my body of work in the game of basketball, what I bring to a team, what I bring to the league in terms of athleticism and skill, it would be a clear case of discrimination, and we plan to pursue every legal route possible to hold the WNBA to their standards.
So they have a lot of issues. What I think is going to happen is most likely Edith Cantor and Royce White are not going to play in WNBA. I think what's going to happen is the NBA, Adam Silver, the people running the real people running the league, the people who are financing this league, that's, WNBA has not been profitable for 30 years. They're going to come down and say, listen, you're going to have to follow what's going on in the Olympics. You're going to have to follow what's going on in college and make the right decision. So to make sure that Royce White is not dunking on women next year, to stop playing games, and maybe the WNBA looks bad, like the bad guys. And I guess in terms of the, liberals and the people who think trans women should be able to participate, make them look like the bad guy, take the brunt, and say, hey, listen, we were forced to do this. Because there is no other way out of this. You're not going to have the men in there dominating the league. This is what they're going to have to do. But let me know, what you guys think? Do you guys think this is actually going to happen? And do you think this situation where people are getting told to take off their T-shirts, do you think this will continue to happen? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you for taking time to watch this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video.